Hi guys, it's Elisa with Fusion DIY. Today I'm taking on one of the biggest projects of my life, and that is cleaning out my parents' home and having it renovated. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by cleaning out some of the closets and some of the cabinet drawers and things like that. So I'm going to be spending some time over the next several months videoing the transformation of this home. It's a 1924 Dutch colonial, and the house unfortunately has had some neglect over the last several years, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But today what we're going to do is we're going to clean out some closets and just find some homes for things, and we'll take you on the journey. So join me as I begin this renovation at Fusion DIY. Enjoy the video.
So guys, I thought that I had the camera running as I took things out of the closet, but I did not. So I apologize, but here are things that I found that I threw on the bed, things that I thought might be worth donating, but on second thought, no, I'm not doing it. No. So these, unfortunately, are going to go into the trash, but there are some things that I am going to be hanging back up in the closet for my brother. You can see my mom had just an array of blouses, and there was a lot there. This blue shirt was new with the tag still on it, and so I am going to donate that to Goodwill. It's a camp shirt. One of the things I found a lot of were gloves, and these were probably from the 40s and maybe even into the 50s. I also found this is a fake fur with fake leather on it in pristine condition, and I thought that would be worth donating for someone. Ties. Can I tell you guys, do not get rid of ties, and the reason I say don't get rid of them is because people use them for all kinds of crafts. I'm going to make a quilt similar to this one, courtesy of Pinterest. This is a memory quilt made out of your dad's old ties. Look at this one. This is just beautiful. That's also made out of ties. And I think that one is beautiful as well. And finally, you can do a table runner. That is beautiful as well. So don't throw out ties. You're better off donating them. I found my parents' wedding album. They were married in 1947, and things were done very differently in 1947 than they are today. So these are the actual formal photographs, and they are just beautiful. So going through my dad's things, I found this is a flash for his camera, which I thought was pretty cool. I also found a shaving brush. I don't know if that's Bakelite on the handle. I'm going to have to look into that. I also did find his camera. Now, my dad passed away in 1985, so this has been sitting in his dresser for all those years. My mom never cleaned out his dresser or his closets. So, and that camera weighed a lot, but it's in great condition. It probably still works. I don't know if you can get film for it. I also found a exposure meter, and I can remember very, very vividly as a child my dad using the exposure meter to know whether or not there was enough sunlight for him to be able to take the picture. Remember, this was before the days of digital, and so everything was film. So he wanted to make sure that the pictures came out properly. And there is the meter. Very cool find. I also found not one, but two of these fold-up cameras. I have no idea how to open them, so if anybody watching this video knows how to open it, I would really be very appreciative if you could let me know. I don't know if one was not working and that was the reason that he purchased a second one. I don't know what the situation was, but again, all metal, very heavy, and just a really neat piece that I found. And here, here is the second one that I found, complete with the instructions. I probably should read the instructions to figure out how to open up the camera. Nonetheless, I would have to say this is probably from the 50s. My dad was an avid photographer. So I also found some personal things to him, some letters and things that I'm taking home, and I want to read through those. And so all of those came home with me. Flash bulbs. Can you believe it? Those go into the flash that I showed you earlier in the video. And there is, you'll see it in a moment, there is a transistor radio. Do you guys remember these? My dad had not one, but he had several of them. And he had the earpieces for them so that he could listen in the wee hours of the morning. So there's one. Here is the second one that I found. And then I found a third one, which I believe this might have been mine when I was little. I seem to recall that being mine. And that was it. And now, look at what I found in his dresser. This was 1972, I believe, when President Nixon resigned over the whole Watergate thing. And I just thought this was really cool. These are in really good condition, but the paper has become so fragile because over the course of time, the paper dries out. But look at how cool this is. I just thought it was such a great, great find. Here's another one. Before it was the Daily News, it was the Daily Mirror, and it cost 3 cents. And I am going to let you research what day this is that Babe Ruth died. But if you look at the inside, it is, look at the artwork and the graphics. They didn't have the high-tech photography that they have nowadays. And this is basically how people got their news. They bought a Daily News. Look at that. Just really, really fun ephemera to look at. And then look at this one. The king had died in England, and Elizabeth was going to become the queen. And she is the oldest two of the daughters. It was her and Margaret. And she was the one who would become queen, as we know, and just passed away recently, within the last couple of years. Oh yes, there's the date. Is it January 6th or February? February 6th, 1952. And the headline was in color, no less. And then on the inside of the newspaper, there was a look back at King George and his reign. Yeah, I just thought that was really, really an interesting piece that my dad saved. So check this out. I'm not sure if I'm going to get in trouble for showing this on YouTube, but you can see the fashions back in the day. And this was an advertisement from Gimbals, which if any of you are familiar with Gimbel's, it was a very large, very well-respected department store. There was a Gimbel's in Manhattan, where both my parents were born and raised. And this is the final newspaper. MacArthur in Washington for report to Congress, due in New York tonight. And there you can see him in the center of that photo. And further on in the newspaper, you will see that there's an advertisement where you can watch his every move. There it is. He's here. Follow on TV. Isn't that great? Follow every move on TV. The paparazzi back in the day. So here is my bedroom that I grew up in, and it is mostly cleaned out. That desk my dad made for me when I was little, and that is going to be coming to my home with me. And then the dresser was a dresser that my mom picked up secondhand, and then she painted it and did the artwork and very sweetly put my name at the bottom drawer. And this thing, I can't believe how good it looks. It was in great condition. So these were the stairs before we took anything off, and the paper was falling off the walls and everything else. We painstakingly took the carpeting off the stairs, and look at how beautiful. And I pulled off the wallpaper. I just can't wait to get these walls primed and painted. I think it's going to look fantastic once it is all cleaned up and repainted. I can't wait. Okay, so I am back home, and it was a long day, just a lot of work, but I want to show you some of the things that I found in my parents' room. I know you guys will appreciate this, because I think that those of you who are on here love to find out about picking and junking and everything else. Look at this beautiful mirror. Isn't that beautiful? It does have a mirror in it. And here is, I'm not sure if it's this one that goes with it or it's this one, but both of them are equally as beautiful. These are brushes. Aren't they lovely? They are silver. I don't know if they're silver plated. They're probably silver plated is what I would think. And here is the other one. It's just beautiful. The other things that I found, and there was a smaller hand mirror, but unfortunately this one is missing the mirror, which I think is probably going to be pretty easy to replace. There also is a comb here, but the comb is missing some teeth, unfortunately. These things are pretty old. Look at this, a whisk broom. This I found in my dad's closet, and this was probably used to clean off his suit before he went out the door. I also found a bunch of cologne that has not been used. This is an arpege. It's never even been opened. And let's see. The bottle, I believe, yep, the bottle is still full. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. You could see that these are pretty dusty. They've been sitting on my mom's dresser for quite a long time. So I will probably have to figure out what I'm going to do with them. I also found, and I don't know if this was a thing back in the late 50s, but this is I guess this must have been on the bassinet when my brothers were born. This one says Baby Boy B. There were twins, Mark and Brandon, and it's got the doctor's name, it's got the birth date, newborn, M for male, mom's address, and the doctor that delivered them. So I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't found baby A yet, but listen, I might find it in the in the scheme of things, a pair of scissors. And I don't have it with me, but I found my dad's hair clippers kit. And I believe that this belongs in there, so that's going to go back in there. I found a bunch more perfume, and I found some very old pearls which need to be restrung, which I think are just beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see that. They are beautiful, and they just need to have a new string to them. They have aged beautifully, and so I am going to restring them and give them either to my daughter or my daughter-in-law and let them enjoy them. And then just a couple of miscellaneous things. Here's a perfume from Paris. And oh, this I thought was kind of interesting. Back in the day, apparently, one of the things that ladies did once they got married was they had their wedding picture put on a mirror that went into their purse. So that's a picture of my mom. I think you guys saw that earlier in the video. What else is here's another one, which I thought was pretty also. So I'm going to use these because I don't have a little mirror for my purse. And this is just a little wallet that she would carry that had all of her things in it. And again, some more colognes and things like that. Some photographs that I'm going to hang on to. But that's it. I'm also going to take you upstairs, and I want to show you the beautiful picture that I took off the wall that was in my parents' room. And I asked my brother, and he said, yes, I can have it. I just love it. It's just a beautiful photo, or a beautiful picture. So let's go upstairs now and we'll take a look at that. So here is the painting, or the print that I was telling you about. It is quite old, and you can see there's some staining down here. This is not on the outside of the glass, it's on the inside, which I'm assuming is just from age. And so I'm probably going to have this reframed in the not too distant future. I absolutely love the frame that it is in, and I'm not going to change out the frame, but it does need to be rematted and just has to be cleaned up. So it is a beautiful, beautiful picture, and I'm just so fortunate to have it. As a matter of fact, when I took it off the wall, I brought it home. The first thing I did when I got home was I put this up, and it turns out that there were two mollies in the wall, two anchors in the wall that perfectly matched what I needed for this print. So I feel very fortunate that there was no extra work needed on it. So I'm grateful to have it, and it's very, very much my style. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. There will be many, many more to come because we have quite a lot of work to do in that house. And I have only cleaned out 2 rooms, and there is so much stuff. It's like 60+ year of accumulation in my parents' house. So I'm going to be taking you week by week, and we will go through everything. I'll tell you what I found, and then we are going to move on to having a renovation. You saw in the video the transformation of the stairs. We took the carpeting off the stairs and cleaned those up a little bit, and we'll see what happens over the next several weeks. But please come back and join me. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and every time I release another video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for joining me today. I will be doing some DIY things as well. I'll kind of mix them in periodically, so I'm not getting away from that. And because that really is my love, and that's my heartbeat. So again, please join me in subsequent episodes, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great week.